Nothing better than having things at home break so you have more opportunities to put things on YouTube and Instagram. Today, the task at hand is fixing this Samsung. My understanding is that this making way too much noise, so that means that this thing's got to get removed, and my sense is there's a spider bracket on the back of it that's come loose or is completely broken. So that means got to tear down the entire face of this, got to take the inner and the outer bowl completely out, disconnect that from any hoses here, which you can see there's a few hoses in here, disconnect it from any of these mounting brackets, and these are springs, of course. There are 4 shock deadeners down below. I am going to put it on the time lapse. We're in a tight room here. A little bit difficult to be able to see. We'll put it on the time lapse and see if it turns into anything interesting. Here's to hoping it doesn't. Okay, terrible video, I know, because of the tight quarters, but this is completely out. So now this is going to the garage to get disassembled. We're gonna pull the stator off the back here and start figuring some things out, but everything in there went pretty well. Followed the step-by-step process of what they were showing on the YouTube video that I took a look at. So now the question is, we're going to take this outside and take a look at whether or not whatever that bracket is in the back is broken. So let's get this outside. Probably one of the most amazing things of having a TV out here. You can see he just pulled her out. And we are going to knock this stuff out too. Well, there you go. Here's our culprit. It's this spider assembly, whatever it is. It's gotten corrosion down in it, and it's literally, this part is broken here. It's not weldable, not fixable. It's a cast piece. So it's got all the details in there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get online and order a second piece. Let me rip this out and we'll take a look at it. Well, there you go. This thing is fairly rotten. I mean, you can see just how much is still left there. And that's a cast piece, so the real question is, why was she shaking and making so much noise? This piece. Now, what I am curious about is this shaft in the middle of it, whether or not that's on a bearing. I don't think that's cast in there, but we'll look into that a little bit more. But I'll be ordering this bracket and then putting everything back together, and that is definitely aluminum. Just crazy to see that just getting absolutely eaten apart. And that's how caustic stuff is. Interesting. Well, we'll get her ordered, get that part back, and then get everything put back together. Not much of a mystery here. Well, we are to the door boot section of the reassembly here. I literally have every other wiring harness connected all the way around, and the last thing that we're at is this absolutely hideous looking door boot. Now that thing is, and you judge me all you want, but it's just, that's clean, it's just stained by mold over time. So this has got a ring right here that you can see for this clamp ring to drop down on. And then this also sits inside, goes between these two. In reality, it's quite the exercise here, but we're gonna go and we're gonna try to put this on. These two tabs here need to be lined up here on this side, so we're gonna go ahead and slide that on and see if we can't get it set the way that it is supposed to be set. Wish me luck. Shockingly, whoever designed this rubber boot is using their brain, because that went on really nice, and the way that it's designed and the way that it's affixed, awesome. So next step, I think we're putting counterweights on the outside, and then I think we're putting door face on here, reattaching that to all the different pieces there. That's going to bring this wiring harness back together. Really just kind of bringing this full circle and getting her reassembled. We're coming along. It's not too bad.
I don't understand you. You've been pacing back and forth. Why won't you talk to me? I'm trying to understand you. You keep making these excuses about why you can't talk to me. Why don't you take it out?
We are back to this, which is interesting because I got one piece that I'm not 1,000,000% sure how it goes back on. I do have the door switch assembly set up the way that I need it. I believe this plastic piece down here that I've been wondering about snaps in here.
I got this thing.
Okay, let's just set that down for a minute.
Okay.
It's the last piece. I can't figure out where it goes. Which is a hard part because I know that this gonna have to go back to the video because this was definitely it doesn't look super important, but everything has its place. Everything goes somewhere. Got the wiring harness disassembled here. This all looks fine. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to the actual video. Figure out where that piece came from. Beautiful thing about this, again, just throw that down there. I've got access to all my screws. Okay, let's figure it out, I guess. Absolutely shocking. So if you take a look in here, it's got a part number, DC63011113. So what I did is I went and took the exploded parts diagram and took a look at this and hunted down where the DC63011113, what it was, and it is the washer door latch cover. So where is that, you might say? What's right back here. And this thing snaps right on top of that. So I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing anything, but now I feel confident we got everything ready to put back together.
And I can seem to see we're on the same team. When will you just take it out on me? I'll say whatever it is you need. Your tense, I'll make it.
Well, there you go. She's all back together, turns on. The real question will be, does she run? Cycles on. Door should lock.
Oh no, with the stop.
Door locks. Inside spins. Completely silent. Okay, so I'm gonna run a ton of laundry right now and try to get this thing going, but it seems like we're all back together. I got one screw that I have no idea where it came from. That's pretty good when I started with like 40. So, just evidence that like if things seem wildly complex, they aren't. And especially if you can follow a linear path, there's videos on YouTube of people deconstructing stuff. If you understand the system and how it goes together, and the wiring harnesses are set up that you can't screw things up, plugging them back in. So 1 week later, washing machine fixed, and it cost me $134. Don't think we could have gotten that done if I would have taken it in and had somebody else do it. So cool. Hope you enjoyed it. Another week, which means another jumpy castle and another tailgate. North Dakota football. This week we are playing South Dakota State. They're ranked #1 in FCS. They defeated North Dakota State last week in the Fargo Dome, and hopefully, what I'm hoping is that our guys show up. We have a great game. We've got a bunch of people, a bunch of recruits here for a tailgate. Been enjoying this atmosphere. You can see people are all over walking around. Everybody's wearing Kelly green. My son is jumping around in the bouncy castle right now. So we got it going, and it's going well. I'm excited about it. Game time kick is going to be 3 p.m. Exciting weekend. We sit at 4-2. One of those losses to Southern Illinois, the Salukis, and one of those losses also against Nebraska. So I'm going to call them 2 quality losses. We've got some quality wins. All of our wins have come against ranked opponents at the time. So we are looking to pick up one more win against a ranked opponent. I still think a loss at your place to the #1 ranked team by just a little bit. Not a bad loss. The committee looks at that as a competitive team, playing against really good competition on a regular basis. We play in the SEC of FCS, the Missouri Valley Football Conference. It's produced the national champion 10 out of the last 11 years. Continues to be one of the better leagues, top to bottom. So I'm excited about that. You can hear the band right now. Figure out where they're at. I think that they're over there, down there. So we'll go check it out.